to go to Najee Harris, who, by the way, I will say he was on our last ADP movers show, and he was moving up then. He's still moving up now. He's up 6.6 spots, 76.6 as far as the ADP. Listen, I'll just say this before I kick it to you, Steve. For all the jokes we make about Arthur Smith, or at least that I make, we do know that running the ball is going to be a priority in Pittsburgh. The Jalen Warren injury didn't help matter. Well, help matters at least as far as Najee Harrison's ADP. I will just say before I go to you, Tomlin did say yesterday in terms of Jalen Warren, he is out probably for this week, but not anything that's a long-term concern. So, Steve, there's going to be running abound in Pittsburgh. How are you feeling about Najee Harris?
Yeah, and that's a hammy injury for Warren, so that's something that could linger. We'll see. Najee Harris now this year, get him in the 7th round, and years prior it was like 4th, 3rd round. So there's definitely a nice little discount on Najee this year, and like Najee's like the type of back that he needs like a lot of volume. Like if you give Najee Harris 20 something carries, he starts to grind out the defense. He wears them down. He breaks those bigger runs. And then the thing that kills him too is Warren's presence because he doesn't get the usage in the pass game. But I do expect the offense to be better this year, even though they've looked like jack shit so far in the preseason with Russ and Fields combining for 3 points in that other preseason game the other week. But I do expect it to get better with these two quarterbacks. Their offensive line has improved. Najee has shed some weight. He's in a contract year, 7th round. When you're building your teams with receiver early, you can click on him as your RB2 or RB3. And I like doing it because he's sitting there in the 7th round. I like it.
Yeah. No, sounds good to me. Anthony, did you have anything? You look like you're about to say something.
Yeah, no, Najee in that backfield is a player I want. I've been on Najee all off season long. And I put it this way. I compare this to Dallas last year, where the consensus for a couple of years calling for Tony Pollard over Ezekiel Elliott. They get what they want finally, and Tony Pollard blows up in everybody's face. Why? Well, Tony Pollard, he's at his best when they have the big banger like Ezekiel Elliott taking the punishment, and then Pollard comes in with his speed and elusiveness and catches the defense, and he's being one of the better fantasy backs. This is a similar situation to where if Jalen Warren was ever the guy, I don't know how effective he would be without Najee Harris taking all of that punishment. Najee does take that punishment. If you look, last year, Najee, 12th amongst running backs with average defenders in the box. The efficiency wasn't great. We know Warren was the more efficient back, gets more targets. But Najee himself, outside of the yards per touch and yards per carry, 12th in evaded tackles, 4th in breakaway runs, 13th in yards created. Once he gets to that second level, he's a very good running back. Pittsburgh, they've addressed those offensive line issues. In fact, PFF ranks the Steelers' O-line, I believe, top 10. I think they are 9th the last time I checked. I think this is a piece they put out every July. I do expect a quarterback upgrade, right? Whether it's Fields or Russell Wilson. Why is that important? Because with a competent passing attack, maybe the defenders aren't going to be stacking the box, right? Najee was seeing 7 average defenders in the box. Maybe if they have better quarterback play, that doesn't happen. So we look at Najee, at least 8 total touchdowns in each of his first 3 seasons in the NFL, including back-to-back years to open his career with 10, and at least 1,000 yards rushing every season in the NFL. And as bad as it was last year, he had a career-high 4.1 yards per carry. So I think with Arthur Smith coming in, we're going to see a similar run-pass ratio. This is going to be a run-heavy team, and I think there's going to be enough touches to go around for both Najee and Warren to eat. But who I think the more productive fantasy back is going to be, that's Najee Harris, especially at his cost. I think he could be a big-time value, especially if you go hero or zero running back.
All right, so with that,